We are inching closer to decision day with leaders trying to close a multi-million-dollar deficit. The budget is due April the 8th. Acting Mayor Chris Scanlon presented his State of the City address last week. Now, besides balancing the budget, he said he is focused on things like emergency preparedness, innovation in the city, and also gun violence prevention. And Acting Mayor Scanlon joins me live here tonight. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you about that. I do have to start here just briefly. We saw the surveillance video there. We haven't seen the impact of this crash. This obviously has dominated the news now for a couple of weeks. Yeah. Can you assure the public that if Buffalo police officers, because that's your role in this, if Buffalo police officers did anything wrong here, that they will be punished?
Yeah, so I've talked about this with most media outlets over the course of the past week or so and have made it very clear. It's very difficult for me to comment on a lot of it, obviously with the ongoing investigation. I know a lot of times that's a little difficult for the public to swallow. I get it, especially when more information comes to light, like things like this. But I can't comment on those particular, but I can tell you that as an internal affairs investigation rolls out, I'm not part of that. Mm-hmm. But once that is completed, we'll look at it and treat it as seriously as we need to.
In terms of the Buffalo City budget, I mentioned the April 8th date. Yeah. In the meantime, we have a state budget that's supposed to come out April 1st. It oftentimes is late, right? Yes. But what happens with that state budget will impact what you have to do in the city of Buffalo. I know that you are saying to the state, you need to make some changes to allow us to get our house in order here. Are you confident that that's going to happen? What is the plan?
Yeah, that's what we did. I went down to Albany to talk to assembly members and senators, the governor, and say, listen, we're not looking for a handout. We're looking to fix things ourselves. We hope you can give us these pieces of legislation. We could have gone the legislation route and hopefully it played out over the course of the session in Albany, but we're really pushing to have it included in the budget, the budget proposal and the finalized budget, which would give us a little more certainty as we prepare our budget a couple of weeks from now. We're going through that process now, obviously, and looking at both situations. Should we have some certainty? Should we not? So we're going to get there by April 8th, and we'll have a budget to present to the council.
Should taxpayers in Buffalo be preparing for a property tax increase?
It's going to be very difficult to not do it. I'm just being honest with people. We have a large gap ahead of us, but we're certainly not just looking to raise property taxes and that's it, right? We're talking about other revenues that we've presented to the state legislature, whether it's the hotel tax or the parking authority, but also we're looking to curb spending. We've talked to departments about reining in spending and seeing what we can do on that side of the equation as well. We'll look at our fringe costs, everything we can possibly to cut on costs before we start going and increasing taxes, things like that. That's the last thing we want to do.
We have a special that is airing this Thursday night from 7 to 8 o'clock, an hour long. We've been working on it for more than a month, looking specifically at downtown, because downtown was seeing so much growth, and then the pandemic really changed a lot of that, right? You need a strong downtown to have a strong city and to have a strong region. And one of the panelists that we have for that special is a small business owner who said, you know, small business is the way to go here. When you put too much into, you know, one big employer downtown and something happens, then it can throw the whole thing off. You talked about small businesses in your State of the City address. What is the plan? And I know it's not just downtown, but to help small businesses there.
Yes, small businesses are the lifeblood of so many of the different neighborhoods throughout the city of Buffalo, and the great thing about the city of Buffalo is those different neighborhoods that we have. Those are what create the identity of those neighborhoods. And my time on the council was supportive of small business throughout, creating programs and a grant program that was then replicated citywide, brought almost $4 million to small businesses across the city. So we'll continue to support our small businesses as much as we can. Obviously, we want to have a thriving downtown, but having that thriving downtown allows us to have investment in our commercial corridors in the neighborhoods as well.
And that allowed, the plan here is to actually create sort of like a new entity, right? Focused on small businesses.
Yeah, so, you know, we've got to hear from our small businesses, you know, our entrepreneurs, what's going well, what's not going well, what are the hurdles they face. So I'm creating a business cabinet, a divided advisory cabinet from people from across the city of Buffalo, different commercial corridors, different organizations, so we can hear from them directly about what the things are that they're facing.
Acting Mayor Chris Scanlon, thanks so much for coming in. This is crunch time, folks. We're going to have some budget answers pretty soon. So
yes, sir.
Look forward to talking to you about it.
Thank you.
All right.